Hey y'all, this your girl Hourglass Hair Hustler coming to you with another YouTube video. And in this video, my client is getting a lace frontal sewing with our Brazilian deep wave hair, and the length that she had is a 22-24 inch bundles and a 20-inch frontal. And I started the video by braiding her hair down in about 10 to 12 cornrows going to the back. And this is the method that I like because to me, like I said once before, it makes the wig or the bundles, it just makes everything lay nice and flat, and that is very important when doing a sewing. You want sewing, wigs, weave, anything like that. It's important to make it as flat as you can. Once I was done braiding her up, I put some got to be around her edges just to make sure that her edges were laying flat. And then once I was done with that, I laid the stocking cap on top of her edges and everything, and I added some more got to be. Now I only add the got to be on the beginning of on the very front of her hairline. Once I was done with that, I added the got to be spray on the back of the stocking cap. I don't like to add the got to be on the front because to me it looks flaky, so I prefer to put the gel under the dry because to me it dries clear. When I was done with that, I put her out from under the dryer and I sewed the back of the stocking cap down. I didn't have to use all of the stocking cap because she was just getting a frontal, and so I sewed the back of the stocking cap down and I cut the excess stocking cap from around her hairline and the back of her hair. And of course, when I'm cutting the stocking cap from around her hairline, I like to make sure I cut as close as possible to her hairline. I don't like to leave any extra stocking cap because sometimes when you leave the extra stocking cap, especially if you're using a light stocking cap, you will be able to see the stocking cap from under the lace, and when it's showing, it doesn't look good at all. It doesn't look as natural because you can see that stocking cap under the lace. So I try to cut as close as possible. Once I'm done with that, I go back with the got to be. I use a little bit of got to be on the tip of my comb and in my blow dryer, and this is how I achieve the ball cap method. Once I'm done with that, I apply a concealer to match her skin tone because the stocking cap was so light. Sometimes when I use a dark stocking cap, I don't have to necessarily apply concealer, but being that the stocking cap was light, I had to apply the concealer. And once I was done with that, I went ahead and I used a white eye pencil just to mark it off where I'm putting the glue, so I won't go over the glue. Sometimes I will use a pencil on top of the lace, or sometimes I will go under the lace. This time I did both. So once I was done, then I used my new favorite glue, which is the Bold Hole Max. I use that glue, and like I said in my last video, I love the glue. It dries really fast. It gives a long hole, and I just applied three coats to there. And once it was dry, I basically laid her hair down in the glue and press it down into the glue or whatever, so that the lace could adhere to the glue. And I have different techniques that I use. Everybody's gonna have their own technique that works for them. You just have to play around with different techniques and see which one you like and what works for you. As for me, I have several different techniques that I use, and all of them works for me just fine. Once I was done with that, I cut the excess lace from her hairline with an eyebrow archer. I use both eyebrow archer and a scissors, but for the most part, I use an eyebrow archer. Some parts where I have a little bit of lace and I can't cut it close with an eyebrow archer, I will go back and use a scissors because in some places you can't use the eyebrow archer. It's not enough lace for you to use the the archer, so I will go back and I will cut it with the scissors. Now this time with this install, I tried to do something different. I tried to lay all the baby hairs down and tie it down first, and then at the end I went back and I fixed the baby hairs. I gelled the baby hairs down, and I was trying to do it this way because sometimes when you lay the baby hair down and you tie it down and you take the stocking cap off of it messes the baby hair up and you have to go back and redo the baby hair. So I was just trying it this way to see if it works better for me this way, and I kind of did like it better because when I got done tying the stocking cap around her hair and I removed it and everything, when I was done sewing it in, the baby hair was still in place and looking good. I didn't have to I could just go back and do the baby hair, and that was the last thing that I had to do. So when I got done tying her hair down, I went in the back and I sewed my bundles in the back. Pretty much, I'm sure everybody knows how to sew the bundles in the back, but I can do another video showing the way that I sew the bundles in. If it's something that if that's a video that you would like to see me do, just let me know and I will make a video showing how I sew the bundles in the back. So she brought in her own lot of body spray because this is what she likes to use on her hair. Usually I would use a spray bottle with water, conditioner, and either argan oil or cooking oil or something, but this was what she liked to do, so I did what she wanted me to do because she is the client, and not only that, but she's also a master cosmetologist. So I basically took some tips from her, which she told me that when she's using deep wave hair, curly hair, any type of hair like that, she usually finger pull it. She don't use a comb because she noticed that when you use a comb, it kind of make it frizzy, and when she did it didn't make it frizzy, so I tried that method. As you see, I go back with my Got To Be free spray and I sprayed the hairline down before I make the baby hair, and that's just something that I like to do because to me it kind of give it an extra hold to it. And I lay my baby hair down with the Gorilla Snot, and I like to use the Gorilla Snot over the Got To Be because Got To Be tends to make the hair it makes it white and flaky, and I don't like that look because to me it looks kind of messy. So with the Gorilla Snot, it doesn't flake as much as the Got To Be. If only way it will flake is if you use a whole lot, but if you're just using the tip, it makes those baby hair just glide wherever you need it to be, and it looks really good, and you don't have to use a whole lot. So that's what I like to do. I like to use the Gorilla Snot instead of the Got To Be for my baby hairs. When I'm doing my baby hair, y'all, I am very detailed with my baby hair. I really take my time to perfect my baby hair on every install because the baby hair is one of the main and most important thing, because you can do a bomb install and that baby hair look a mess and it throws the whole install off where it doesn't look good at all. So you want to make sure that the baby hairs is slayed to the gods and it just look bomb because yeah, when I was done laying my baby hairs, I went back and I tied back down with a stocking cap while I used my pressing comb to lay all of the her part really flat and make sure everything is laying flat. I did use my Shears Balm wax stick and the Fantasia thermal heat protectant on top of that with the pressing comb. And I like to be old school, y'all. I like my pressing comb. Some people use the curling iron. I like my pressing comb because the pressing comb is gonna get every piece of hair that's laying out of place. It's gonna make sure that it's laying nice and flat, and so I like to use my pressing comb. I also like to use a pressing comb in the very front because it gives it a little height and it gives it a really nice look. When I was done with that, I used the concealer and the tweezers just to clean her part up to make sure that her part looks nice and crisp and detailed. Once I was done with that, her install was pretty much done. I just made sure everything was in place, and that was the end of her look. You guys tell me what you think, and just give me your feedback. Thanks for watching.
I see your car parked in the yard, but at the crib all the lights on. Yeah, I wanna knock on the door, but I already know 'cause me and you.